You want to learn what it's like to go to war?
No! What are you doing? Am I recording? That's spooky.
It's Papa Spooky Keys.
Combat in the military is not what you think. It's not like the movies. It's not like Hollywood portrays. There's this stigma in the military that if you haven't been to combat, you are not like real military, which I find odd. And no, I don't believe that. But here's the thing. So when you serve in the Marines, especially the infantry or the Army and the infantry, you're kind of looked down upon if you haven't been in combat, especially if you're in a leadership role. If anybody wants to comment and agree or disagree with that, feel free to. I can tell you, I had senior Marines who had been in Iraq and didn't see any combat. And I thought to myself like, oh, so do you really know what you're training me for? And it's an odd stigma. So what I have for you today is an awesome page that is on TikTok. You guys can feel free, check it out. Obviously, they're super underrated. You can see they have about 7,900 followers. But they have all of these great videos. Obviously, they're not their videos. I'm not assuming that the person who runs this page has ever been to combat. It says, curating some of the best combat footage around the globe. What we're going to do here is I'm going to take a look at the footage itself, review it, tell you what you see as somebody who might not have been to combat, and what I see as somebody who, unfortunately for my mental health, has been to combat. What's really cool is on this page, they have like different countries too. For all you young people in the audience, I want to remind you of one thing. Combat does not make you a man. It just shows what kind of man you are when you're in fear for your life, when you're tired, when you haven't showered, when you're hungry. You know, it doesn't make you a harder human being. So I want to remind you, don't glorify combat, and that's not what I'm doing here. We're just watching and looking to see. So the first one we have is U.S. Army, Afghanistan. It has 7,000 views.
Oh! Oh! Hey, thanks for saying something. Reloading!
You can't see what they're shooting at, can you?
Hey! Dude, I had no idea. I thought we just got fucking hit. 5-2, we're good. Law. Hey, can I chuck this down that hole? Yeah. Instead of carrying the thing.
Oh! What happened? Can you see what they were shooting at? Guess what? For the most part, neither can they. What happened was somebody went to shoot a law. I don't remember what a law stands for. It's an acronym. You guys can check it out. Essentially, it is a rocket. And the guy did not secure the backblast. You're supposed to yell, "Backblast area secure!" Let everybody know, because if you're behind one of those, you could actually die. You could actually get killed. You see how unorganized combat can be. And these are trained professionals who are overseas. Is that anything like the video games? No. That's an actual firefight too, by the way. That's a very normal firefight. Like, let's go 1 to 10. 1 being, I don't know, somebody threw a rock at you, and 10 being Black Hawk Down. It's usually around a 4 or a 5 for a normal firefight. Let's watch it one more time.
Holy shit. Hey! North west!
Giving directions.
Hey! Stand up! Oh! Oh!
Oh!
Oh!
There's the law. It just hit the ground.
Hey, thanks for saying something.
Thanks for saying something! It's like you want to get mad at the guy, but you're in the middle of a firefight. Like, really, you're going to get mad at him when you're getting shot at. So, it's frustrating. It's a lot of odd frustration. This next video! Fallujah, Iraq. If you don't know, Fallujah was one of the worst battles since Vietnam. If somebody fought in Fallujah, Google Fallujah. You can learn a little bit more about it.
Going left. I'm gonna shoot it again when I get down there.
Scary. Room clearing.
Going!
What's behind the door?
Where? Get the out of here. Hold on.
Oh. Go, Will. Do you see the disorganization? Now, in the movies, it looks a lot cooler. Everyone's just sliding and moving and going into rooms. Room clearing in real combat is terrifying. It is terrifying. It's like going under the bed when you know the boogeyman might be under there. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. It's not like you see in the movies whatsoever. You weren't there, you weren't inside that house. I wasn't there. There's a reason why they're moving a certain way, because it's terrifying. Almost no amount of training prepared me to actually clear a room the first time I ever had to do it. You freeze. It's so scary because I don't know what the percentage is, but I want to say it's something like you have an 80% fatality rate for the first person going through a door. Here's the thing, you're not going to go in the door and just get the jump on them 90% of the time. They're waiting for you. Insurgents used to do in Iraq was they would dig a hole and wait behind the door, so almost all of their body was covered, and they'd just be aiming up at you when you came in the room. A lot of Marines died room clearing in Iraq. So when the Marines were sent there to invade, it took 21 days to get to the capital, Baghdad, Iraq. And after that, the insurgents from all over the world came who wanted to fight. And then battles like Fallujah happened, which were much more deadly than the initial invasion of Iraq, because the only people who were in Fallujah were people who wanted to fight. Let's check this one out.
Oh, I got him right there. Yeah, got him. I see him.
Sounds like whips.
Hey, right in front of the tents. Yeah. There's a little wall, about 2 foot. He's got us. Damn.
What kind of weapons are those?
Yeah. Right in front of the tents is a little dirt wall.
You just yell, he's over there! He's over there! At least these guys are giving like a describing the area. So those are nice controlled rounds. He's aiming at something. You saw the first video. The first video, the guy was just firing, kind of just pop, 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 and then taking breaks. This guy sees something and he's actually aiming at it. And when you watch it, you can see like the dispersion. Dispersion is like the difference, the spacing between people. You're supposed to have dispersion because if one RPG were to hit right down the center, every single one of these guys would be wounded or killed in action. But I mean, that's in a perfect world. That's more perfect training too. So you can see how different this is from the movies that you're watching a lot of time. Combat is like very, it's a, I don't like to curse. It is a cluster F. I would call it's a cluster F. Raw Marines, give him hell. Well, if he's got you, why don't you displace? All right, so this is like a really good example of here's somebody who knows more than the people who are actually in the combat situation. If he's got you, why don't you displace? You weren't there. Like, they have their own reasons. I hate when people always know so much better. I bet you this is some like 48-year-old guy who's never been in combat and probably would crap his pants the first time he actually got shot at. Yeah, they like to make... There we go. Combat's badass. Yeah. No. Oh, it's so cool. This is like the commercials. This is exactly like this is the commercials. Combat's cool. Now you guys can see what combat actually looks like. It's just unorganized chaos. It's, I don't know. Look at this. This is all training. Of course they have to put like AC/DC behind it. Now it sounds even more badass. I'm glad I showed you guys the other videos first so you can see what combat's actually like without all the extra like oorah BS. That is, oh god. Let's see.
Hey! Maybe just north of it.
If you don't know what they're shooting at, again, most of the time they don't know what they're shooting at. It could be a squad size element of 10 to 14 guys. It could have been one guy just who took a couple shots. You don't really know until after it's all done and you get some kind of like report saying like, oh, I don't know. It's so not what the movie showed as. This is a pretty good page. I would check it out if I were you guys. Let me shout them out again. It's called Combat Footage on TikTok. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm a YouTuber. I guess I'm supposed to say that. And leave a comment what you want to see more of. I love you guys to pieces. As always, you get one of these.